Howdy folks. Today I want to give a little demonstration of how I create the orchestral sketches I've recently released on SoundCloud. And I'm going to try to do this in several steps, and I hope to achieve it in under 30 minutes. The plan is to create a sketch from scratch in Finale, hopefully 8 to 12 measures long. Step B is going to be to orchestrate the sketch again in Finale, and then C is going to be to mock it up in Logic using LA scoring strings and Weavy. I'm going to try to make about 45 to 60 seconds of orchestral music in this video, and also talk throughout about some orchestration tricks that I'll be using. I haven't really given any thought to what sort of music I'm going to make today, if it's going to be fast stuff or if it's going to be slow or whatever. So, not really sure what's going to come out. But anyway, here we go. Probably do something in F, because F is always nice. That would sound pretty good on horns. So, we'll start right there. Actually, this is gonna go here, and then this dude here. I'm gonna put him down like that. Get rid of this part. So that's. Go back to layer 1. Now I kind of had this a few minutes before I started this video in my head. So I think that's a nice, that's a good place to start for what the strings will do. So I got this technique from a John Williams article that I read. He does all of his work on 4 grand staves. So woodwinds at the top, brass stuff in the middle, and then strings on the bottom. You can see what's going on. Let's do. What is that? Maybe we'll just go right to that at the end. Oops. like that, actually. So that, and then up here, layer 2. So that, oops. So we have that'll work. So right now, what I'm thinking, you know, I have these very lyrical lines going on in the strings, and a lot of it is going to sound really nice, you know, in these measures right here. If you know, we double it with some woodwinds. So. We can go down to here. let's hit this idea right here again with the woodwinds. Let's make those guys play that again, but with a different harmonization. And maybe a little bit of trumpet kind of in there too. So we can that sounds pretty cool. What did I play? Oops. That's a chord. Let's go to that. Oops, wrong layer. Oops. So we'll break that up. I really like the way the French horn, when they're sitting in the middle of a woodwind section like that. So, oops. So that's our French horn part, and we'll make this be our bassoon. Oops. this guy will. And then I can 2 French horns. Get some nice voice leading right there. Oops. So this will probably be flute and flute and clarinet, no oboe. We'll make oboe double this part. Make a little note. Okay, and this will be bassoon. This is horn. Over here, this will be, we'll say horn on top. Horn on top. And then tuba on the bottom. Might color that a little more later. At least, you know, this is all temporary. This will be, this is just one horn right here, and then one horn, and then we'll add another horn later. Oops. Anyway, all this is, you know, just notes for myself. We'll say that's 2 flutes, or we'll make the flutes go to VC at some point. So now we just need the A. Actually, it's clarinet, so there's no problem for him to jump down like that. We can make him have kind of an interesting line. There on beat 2. That sounds pretty good. All right, let's give that a little listen, see what we come up with. Horns, we're gonna play that. This is strings. And strings as well. This is also a horn right here. This is bassoon. Look at that. This is flute. And let's see what we get. Oh, tempo. That's about 87. 88. That needs to be filled out a lot. And then we can, right at the end of it, we can bring some, let's do some high strings at the end with a little bit of trumpet sustain as color. Oops. Okay, so there's our trumpet sustain, and we'll get our strings up kind of high. some, let's just use these guys because we have them. There's some low trombones. Cool right there. Alright, let's get a descending. So last thing we gotta do is get this oboe in here. And let's make this be octaves. It can end on this chord. This is a little bit of dovetailing right here. So you guys will go to split that up. Yeah. Okay. And actually, you don't need to do that. Oops. Okay. So that way these guys are kind of dovetailing in to what the actually this should be that. Dovetailing into when the woodwinds come in. So they end on right here, and the woodwinds start on that. So we end up with that sound right there at that transition, which will be nice. We need oboe. And he'll finish this line out on a B flat. Like that. It's not an exact science. This needs to be trombones. Okay, so this has a big hole in it harmonically because we've got, oops. Oh, hold on. On this voicing right here, trombone, this is the trumpet right here, and there's these guys. So we can pad it a little bit with some woodwinds. And also some French horns. French horns can play. That'll fill it out a little bit. Let's get flutes and clarinets to play that line in octaves at the top. Alright. Let's see, basses. So all those rules you learned in theory about parallel fifths are bad. This is kind of like an Americana type sketch, so you know we can do that all we want. It doesn't matter. And that voicing at the end is kind of weak, but we've got our woodwinds that are. Because we also have French horns right there. So it'll have a nice, it'll have a big core sound with a kind of an airy top because we've left all this space in there. All right, let's get some bassoon in there. That's the lowest note the bassoon can play. Should be layer 2. Make clarinets play. Oops. Alright, so now we can orchestrate this. So before I do that, I'm going to pause recording. This will be step 2.